Hello friends, welcome back to my gaming channel, New York. So let's continue on our gameplay walkthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn. We are nearing the end of our main quest. So we have to kill these Eclipse members.
Come out, and I'll make it quick. What the?
Someone else got alerted. He's a heavy too.
Too close!
Let's shoot a fire arrow for it. Any more of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 of them still here.
These tunnels go on and on, but the shadow shall guide us. To me! Let's take her down!
Two more of them.
No one disappears without a trace.
I can't see. Only this guy is left. Go and check it out. On the other hand, you don't need
That's the
to.
last of them.
Alert. H-lock structural failure. Repeat.
Or not.
Come on, brothers. Let's get him.
4 of them. Shit. We got a heavy.
The sun can't save you now.
What about you?
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
Let's see if there is anything here in this room.
Alert. Structural failure prevents access.
Okay.
Alert. Area inaccessible. Elevators non-operational. Stairwells have collapsed.
Stairwells have collapsed. Okay. Okay, looks like we got our health back. We don't need your gun. There are data points here in this.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. You probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. A waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical at places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines weren't always so angry.
True. Mostly they were docile until 10, 15 years ago.
For years, Hephaestus has been forcing cauldrons to make aggressive machines. I've seen it myself, in the cauldrons. Stalkers, Ravagers, a Thunderjaw. How could it do that? And why?
Why indeed?
Okay. Let's check this data point. Full steam ahead. Okay. We missed 3 data points. How? Text data point. Text mail from Elizabeth Sobek, data corruption minimal. From Elizabeth Sobek to Margot Shen, full steam ahead. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance is the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as the Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you are doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the construction and stockpiling of bootstrap and silos to store raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and Foundry site selection plan, add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail. Consult with Eomate Okilo before you finalize the silo inventory. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation code, so any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan. Elizabeth. Okay, we missed the audio data point here also.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots.
Can I not
Her
turn it off?
personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. You probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest,
Can't carry
experts
more.
in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. A waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots. And not just build, imagine from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning.
Okay, it's one of those we missed. Simulation results from Margot Shen to Elizabeth Sobek. Simulation results. Wow, you weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection for animal morphologies. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain in our bots will have to navigate. Our bots will have to navigate, but I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional, they feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind. As though she is already mourning their loss, and not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record too. References to megafauna in some of her designs, so cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up, Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. Margot.
In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yeah.
Let's check if there is any data point we have missed here. Can we climb up there? I don't think so. Shall I go back and check if I missed a data point? Let me just go back for one. I will come back quickly. I'm just going for once and checking if I really missed any data points here. Don't see any. I don't see any data points that we have icon. Who knows?
I can't spare the weight.
Let's get back down. Let's get going. I didn't find anything. I've checked all these places too. Hopefully.
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
let's move forward. There is a data point over there, but looks like we need to go to the other side for that.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
Okay.
More eclipse.
Careful now.
Another follow projector is there.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
Let's see this data point. Encapsulated DNA. Okay, this is one of the one we missed. Text data points goes from Sabrina Ibachi to Elizabeth Sobek. Subject encapsulated DNA, and the winner is encapsulated DNA. Over the past 10 years, I performed an exhaustive review of data storage solutions. Magnetic, optical, quantum, even their eternity tech that first was chilling a year or so ago. But every other solution has one or more fatal shortcomings. Too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space. Too power intensive over the centuries. Too prone to failure past 300-400 years, etc. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 plus zettabyte we are projecting for Apollo. There are still many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert material in which we will embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as design and fabricate the power system and seal reliquaries that will keep the DNA at minus 18 degrees C for 1000 plus years. So long as I assure you that it didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting, indeed propitious, that we will be using the very building block of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction. It's not just ironic but heroic. Life as a hero beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much to do. Until next time, peace be with you, Samina. Okay. And what's next? So we get down from here, and there looks to be another data point. Apollo update. Okay, this is the remaining mission one. Apollo update. Text data point quest text mail from Samina Ebaji. From Samina Ebaji to Elizabeth Sobek. Subject Apollo update. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Homer archive for Zenith has made itself known, and as a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up, a bit ahead of schedule. Due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages, I suppose the tragic early laws of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the offset, with attendant circular development about to begin. Speaking of the heuristic circular, they are performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Aspasia personnel. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half my professors had been so entertaining. Peace be with you, Tamina. Okay. There are eclipse here. Looks like we are about to get spotted.
Who knows where she went?
Still sniffing around.
Something.
All of this lost. The ancients' greatest gift to us.
Greatest? How about the fact we exist at all?
To abide in ignorance is a curse, Aloy. You of all people should know that.
Well, here I am.
Fear the power of the shadow. Where did she go? Show them the
Quietly.
I don't think I need his finger gone anymore.
Finally.
Got him over here. Die, apostate.
You are the one who will die.
The last of them. Alone once more.
What should have been a cave of wonders.
There is another data point here. Helis testimonial. What the hell? Where is the data point that we just got? Was there an audio data point? Okay.
Dr. Sobek, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory, a falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I did my job and did it well. I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what end? My only lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth. And my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by days or weeks, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world listening to this message, please note that I am sorry and that I wish you well. Sincerely, Aaron Harris.
Okay.
should have brought a cart.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective.
I came through here, right? So is there anything else in these places? I don't see anything else as such. Okay, let's keep moving forward since we didn't find anything else.
Welcome to Hades, Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol, the ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia, 200 years from now, and this new biosphere growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos, a spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a pharaoh titan, getting worshipped by the eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
That's also questionable. Okay, let's see. Noise complaints, okay. From Travis State to Elizabeth Sobek. Subject noise complaints. Color me confused, Lizzie. Bashcore. Anyone who says the old TT ports to Bashcore is straight up lying, and you know it. Old Trav don't have no truck with commercialized razzle dazzle. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter of citron runoff than listen to Grey Swarm for 30 seconds. Hand to God and swear on my mama's grave and she was religious. Now, that ain't Bashcore blasting the Hades lab, shaking the walls, rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. Classical music, 80s and 90s mostly. Got me some Dutch deathcore some Japanese gore grind, some Swedish cannibal themed stuff too. Stop by if you want to listen. Or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no bashful, you'll see or hear rather, in the stretch that rends the air and feel in the throbbing pulse on the floor and walls and ceiling following you up like it was Jonah trapped in the gullet of gothic deathwish. Hallelujah. As for those requests to turn it down, no can do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal? Might as well give up my stimulants, chocolate malts, and industrial accident hits. Last I heard we were supposed to be coding Helis down here. Am I really supposed to code an extinction protocol without death metal to inspire me? No, I don't think so. Stay cool, crap. And there's one here. Helis protocol. Take here. Just pop 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out a Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority. If that end was 10 to 12 hours of brain time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed fell to stimulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard and it degraded the Gaia core. Sure, I pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control. But by breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too, so they couldn't fly. Everything depended on Gaia taking control back after Hades had done his business. So had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretended to relinquish control. In simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system and reverse operation only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly reversing processes and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky, I swear. Ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it is just simulated plant life. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective core shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on strong now. I am not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it will work. Yeah, those blues are pretty strong. Yes, it's time to sleep and bed. I'll be back to it tomorrow. Alligators. Okay. Let's continue. There's another data point here. Archive abuse. From Sabina Evaji to Travis Tate, CC Elizabeth Sobek, subject archive abuse. Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo archive submissions 000 something. Year 666 submission in just 5 days, and oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings, inappropriate material, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 counts. For giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby consigning your favorite Eastern European torture flicks and their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I have saved future humanity from the ordeal of experiencing not just one but all 16 installments of making a millipede. Don't worry, the Pasolini material has already been preserved. Extreme perhaps, but art. For clarifying a concept that has been so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught for archivists such as myself, the definition of obscenity. You have freed me from the subjective quagmire embodied in Judge Potter's famous utterance. I know it when I see it. Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criteria. If Travis just submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions, sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest the time you would have spent preparing future further submission on, oh, I don't know, your assigned work. Have a world to save after all, or the rest of us do anyway. Dr. Sabina Everty. Okay, so what's next? Let's move on.
Looks like the only way onwards.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 rally accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances. But, as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem, to say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
I didn't understand a word of it. Okay, let's check this hollow position. No, this data point. FZ symbols from Patrick something. There are two missing. From Patrick Brochard-Klein. From Patrick Brochard-Klein to Elizabeth Sobek, subject FZ chambers. The ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I have spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. They are a revelation, astonishing. I don't know what you had to give Farzan in trade to get these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, the embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risks of ECM resolved, nutrition delivery resolved, hormonal stability resolved, 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined those chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But if the rest of FZ technology is at this level, well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem to be impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I am confident they can be resolved. I am going to rest for a few hours and then get back to it. Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours. PVK. Okay. What's next?
Are these
Cradle Servitor
what I think they are?
Artificial.
Okay, Cradle Servitor Personage. From Patrick Brochard-Klein to Elizabeth Sobek, subject Cradle Servitor Personage. Development of the artificial personae for Cradle Servitors, Nurturer, disciplinarian healer continues at a good pace. We are targeting turning Turing zero point 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow low-gradal empathy and limited provisions without undermining adherent to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of personae, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning our entranced feedback loops between the disciplinarian and healer person. I have also attached the reports from an incident where a servitor running the mother personae invented on a disciplinarian servitor's behavior. A parental argument, if you will, amusing on first glance, perhaps, but deeply concerning. I have attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings in just data collection.
Homes. Machines to spawn a new generation of human beings.
Let's see what this is. Riddle Shield. Okay, the other missing one. From Patrick Brochard-Klein. From Patrick Brochard-Klein to Elizabeth Sobek, subject Riddle Seal. Eleuthia 01 was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across Xinjiang province could detect it. Pingback from crucial system is good. For our maiden voyage, a success. Regards my dispute with the betas over zygote selection. Of course, I understand we have limited overheads to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans, but we can all agree there is margin for refinement in future cradle population. Dong. In addition to personally overseeing completion of Eleuthia 02 site inside Mount Namuli, I will formulate and propose a modified zygote selection plan within the PVK. Okay. Is that all the data points here? Looks like so.
Full already.
Okay. I came to here. Looks like I need to get up here.
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
Okay. Okay, let's move inside. We have to climb from here. And what else do we have here? Nothing in this room. Let's continue. And we have some data points here. Let's see what we have
Looks
here.
like it used to hold something. Some component that got removed.
Let's check this one.
Us would benefit from antilopinae morphologies. though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I have gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet,
I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good.
I'm having a kind of Detroit become human vibe here. Like the machines are starting to have feelings, develop feelings. Similarly, maybe just like Gaia developed a feeling of sadness and grief, maybe like Hades was destroyed, constructed to destroy. So maybe he started to enjoy it, and he started to have a feeling also like that's his job. Like he likes destroying.
You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand.
Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you alright?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you, all things.
Anything else? We have one here.
Pure logic won't cut it, Ted. To pull this off, Gaia's going to need to have some skin in the game. It has to care.
What if it runs amok? Have we learned nothing from our mistakes?
Your mistakes, I think you mean?
All I'm saying is give it a kill switch.
She was just born, Ted. I'm not gonna put a gun to her head while she's still in the cradle.
You talk like it's a child. What if it becomes a monster?
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
Of course, Gaia, go on.
I'm sorry to contradict you, but Mr. Farrow's argument is sound. At this point, the development of my psyche is not entirely predictable. To ensure preservation of life, a hardwired override is, I believe, a necessary safeguard.
There. Satisfied, Ted?
Jeez, Liz, just do what it says.
And Hades was that LZ protocol. This is the door I have to go through. First I need to check I have seen all this. Yeah, I think I have seen all this. So let's get into Elizabeth Sobek's office. First, I am going to check this. Odyssey has failed. Okay. From Elizabeth Sobek. To all access subject, Odyssey has failed all. Some terrible news, I am afraid. Far Zenith has informed me that the Odyssey mission has failed. Last night, telemetry indicated a catastrophic antimatter containment failure as the drive spun up to depart the solar system. The ship, its crew, its cargo of zygotes and seeds, its alpha build of Apollo, all were lost. Zero Dawn is now the only hope for the continuation of the human species and earthly life. We must succeed, Elizabeth. There's one here. Artemis status. Artemis status. From Charles Robinson to Elizabeth Sobek. Artemis status. It's coming along, Liz. I am positive about it. If those words can still mean anything. Had my sleeve rolled up, negotiating with frozen zoos for the sample. So many species trapped in ghoulish hologram dioramas, suspended in what-ifs, more than 14,000 then went extinct between 2000 and 2043. We have started mapping out primary succession, selecting the pioneer organisms for a balanced and sustained biosphere, microorganisms and insects, rabbits and foxes and wolves. Thousands more that will have to wait their turn until our new generation can be entrusted with the duty of restoring them so they can return to a world that this time will understand the concept of conservation before it's too late. There has already been too many too lates. We have lost a whole collection team during the storm breakthrough in Myanmar. The samples we lost were, well, irreplaceable. But thanks to you, Liz, the circles of life will bend, not break. The earth was a lifeless rock before, and some days it will be again. But not now, not like this, not on our watch. Bronson. Okay. And there's nothing else in this room, right? Hopefully. Okay. Let's access.
The Alpha Registry master file.
Intact?
Yeah. No signs of corruption.
Then what are you waiting for? Copy the file.
With this, I can restore the registry at the hatch inside Allmother. Open it. Go inside.
And grasp the secrets within.
Where I was born. Maybe who gave birth to me.
Who? Are you really so naive? There will be no who waiting for you there, Aloy. Whatever birthed you into the world was a what, not a who.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate birth. It's you, Aloy, who are the creation of a machine. But what kind of machine and why? Why were you created?
Eclipse.
You need to get out of there. What you found is too valuable. You're too valuable.
What is that?
Still alive. Good.
Helis.
I have a more suitable death in mind for you, child. My entire life, I've always known one thing with prophetic certainty. That I was destined for glory as a great champion of the sun. Even when Jiran was murdered, even when Meridian fell, I never doubted my destiny. Until you came along. When I heard that you had survived, a doubt took root in my mind. As sure as the sun rises and falls each day, those I am bade to kill die. And yet I failed. How? Why? With each dig site you attacked, each loyal soldier you killed, this pestering doubt grew. It grew when High Priest Bahavas went missing. I kept thinking of the moment my knife pierced your throat. One twist, a simple tug of the blade, and you would have bled out. In slaughter, I am a practiced hand. So why hesitate? Why fail my destined purpose?
Rust.
See that scar on your cheek? You didn't get to finish.
Yes, I remember. He fought well. For a savage.
His name was Rost, and he was a better man than you could ever hope to be.
The better man is the one who doesn't end up with his guts steaming on the ground. No, it wasn't him. I could have finished you before he attacked. But I didn't. This failing troubled my thoughts, haunted every step. It was only when I captured you, down in that place, that I finally glimpsed the sun's design etched at length across the course of events. You were meant to survive that day on the mountain. Meant to interfere at dig sites and kill my men. Meant to eliminate High Priest Bahavas. Conversely, I was meant to capture you. Here. So that you might die as a sacrificial offering to the sun. Everything as it was meant to be. Predestined and preordained.
You're a puppet.
Some destiny. You're following orders, not some grand cosmic design. You're a puppet, with Hades yanking the strings, a pawn pushed around by larger forces. It'd be laughable if there weren't so much killing involved. Hades is an ancient machine, not the buried shadow of Karja myth. It doesn't care about Meridian. It wants to kill everything and everyone. And you are its dutiful slave.
I serve not the buried shadow, but the sun in shadow. All halves of nature joined to one cause. Shadow to sun, dark to light.
Do you really not hear how ridiculous that sounds? You've gone from serving an insane homicidal Sun King to an insane homicidal machine. You're moving down in the world, not up.
I'll remember those words as I watch your corpse burn. Whatever's left of it. You fail to grasp the point. As surely as you've been conquered, so has all doubt. And with certainty of belief comes unstoppable force.
Then cleanse cage and put your faith to the test. See if things work out like you expect.
The circle has closed. Every element is in its proper place, exactly where it belongs. The errant beast, now caged, will serve her true purpose. A sacrificial animal. Oh, speaking of sacrifice, I forgot to tell you. After you crashed the Eclipse network, I sent messengers into the east to rally the forces there and mount an invasion of the sacred land. I ordered every Nora killed. I was hoping to catch you there, but alas, it all seems to have been unnecessary.
Needless slaughter.
Why butcher dozens of innocents for no gain? It's a waste of effort.
You're right. I won't even be there to enjoy it. In any case, I couldn't recall the order even if I wished to. Thanks to your destruction of the network, communication over distances is impossible. You not only doomed yourself, but an entire tribe. Do we not see the scorching judgment of the sun in these events? Your focus, such a powerful device, isn't it? And yet, so fragile. So you see, this time, I did not hesitate. The knife has already been twisted.
Karja faithful, rejoice! Our years in shadow are over. A new dawn trembles on the horizon. A new day soon to break. And when it does, the false Sun King will be dead, and Holy Meridian ours once more. In this, I have become an instrument of prophecy. All halves of nature join to one cause. Shadow to sun, light to dark, night to day. Behold! Hold your seats! Can you not see the proof of the sun's blessing before your eyes? How else could shadows such as these prowl in broad light of day? Were they not approved by the sun and joined to our cause? Many years ago, to consecrate this great ring, be the first of thousands!
I'll never beat that thing without weapons. My weapons are up on the platform. There's no way out of the...
Okay, so I will end my game here. I will continue from this in my next video. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.